Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome back. First of all, I have to announce that it is basketball, WNBA, women's, depending on when I post this, semifinals, finals are going on. I'm obviously all for Queen Fee, Nafisa Collier, so go Minnesota Lynx. Also Asia Wilson, but they might end up having to play each other, and that would be excellent. But I still have my favorite. So that being said, I actually am just right now. Sorry about that. I'm posting this video. It's just a fun kind of year-end predictions, what I want to read before the end of the year. I obviously have a few more books that are not going to be included in here. I am very excited to finally be able to read book 3 of The Magic of the Lost. That book is called The Sovereign, and then the author also has another book coming out right after that. I forget the title. I have it on pre-order, so I'll be reading that one as soon as I get it as well. But that being said, these are the ones that I wanted to show you because I have a couple different ideas for videos coming out, and this kind of will show you a bit about where I'm going with that. I'm very disappointed because September actually had a lot of stuff of my interest. So it was Shorty September, Shake September, there was Sapphic September, and what I also didn't realize until just recently was Tudor September. So I did hurry up and read a book that will be able to be used for that I will be posting shortly as well if I haven't already. Like I said, I don't know when this one's going to be going live, but I wanted to start because I would have read this book, which I've been really wanting to read, Young, Damned, and Fair. And this is basically Catherine Howard. She was the 5th wife of Henry VIII, the second one to get beheaded. She's also a cousin to Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn's mother was a Howard, so it goes down that line. I absolutely want to be reading this, so there's plenty more books that I want to read that I'll make sure that I'm reading next September for Tudor September. I also had a book that I read earlier in the year that is a favorite, that when I do my review for the book that I'm finishing up, it was Anne Boleyn and Queen Elizabeth. It was the mother-daughter relationship. So that fits for Tudor September, and then I'll combine a book that I absolutely love, one of my favorite historical fiction or historical works, nonfiction during that time period, and of some of my favorite people, is called Young Queens, and that is about Queen Catherine Medici, or Catherine Medici, and then Mary, Queen of Scots, but then also Catherine's daughter Elizabeth, who married and became the Queen of Spain. So that is about the 3 of them. So I'm going to compare and contrast their reigns and their lives with Anne and Elizabeth, and be able to at least participate in Tudor September. But this will not fit for that, but at least I want to be able to, I'm telling you here now, so that I can't not read it this year, because it has been on my list for way too long. And then this was a recommendation. I finally got it in the mail. I ordered it. This is a recommendation from Saracen Salute, Ali and Nino. I am really excited to read this story. It's basically Muslim and a Christian star-crossed lovers, but so much more because you get the history and geopolitical stuff going on. He loved it, and I'm sure I will too, so I'm looking forward to reading that one before the year's end. I just shot a video for Tag Tuesday about one of my all-time favorite books is The Count of Monte Cristo, and I found this graphic novel retelling of it called The Curse of Monte Cristo. And I am, you know, it will be a nice, not lighter read because, you know, you deal with, you know, if this is a curse, you're dealing with hell and demons, and you're dealing with, you know, the regular revenge and vengeance and all that stuff. But it's going to be definitely lighter than a lot of the stuff that I'm reading, and a quick and easy read if I need a breather. So, November, getting ahead of, practicing to kind of get ahead of time, is nonfiction November. So I'm going to hopefully read The Young and Damned and Fair, the Catherine Howard story, along with Deaf Utopia, which is a memoir, and a love letter to a way of life, Niall DeMarco. So I am excited for that one. And also I have had this one on my TBR for way too long as well. This is Black Count. So this is the story of Alexander Dumas' father. So he was a soldier, an officer with Napoleon. Very much inspiration for Count of Monte Cristo by his son. And so since I'm kind of doing a Dumas type of theme, and I was just talking about my love for Alexander Dumas's Count of Monte Cristo, I actually just watched the mini-series for it, a new one from 2024, which was excellent. I made my mom watched it, and she said it was the best thing she's watched. Having never read it or anything, she was really excited to see all the intricacies of his revenge plot. So that being said, I'm always obsessed with Napoleon, at least that era, and being obsessed with Dumas myself, I really am excited to read the story of his father. So these will be my reads for nonfiction November. Hopefully I can find a couple shorter ones throughout there, or if there's any other prompts or tags, I can work those in as well. The other ones I have are themed. I'll probably be reading one of these each month, so that I'll have it, and then I plan to do a video specifically for these 3 books. If you followed any of my other videos, you know my obsession or interest in Irish history, and so that will continue with these 3 books. I have been meaning to read and have not ever read Say Nothing. It's the true story of murder and memory in Northern Ireland. So this is during the Troubles. So 1972, and I know this is going to be a tough read. That's why I'm not trying to read them all in one month. I'm just going to take a month at a time, because the next read is actually going to be even harder. But it also deals with the IRA and stuff like that. So this one I'm so excited for. Maria Cahill. It's Rough Beast, my story in the reality of Sinn Féin. And so this is, I know I've said this before, one of my all-time favorite books, especially one of my favorite books of the year, is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. And this is going to be, or sounds like it's going to be right up there with the inspiration and respect that I have for her fighting the system, but also the anger and outrage that she had to do it to begin with. But she, unlike Chanel, who was taken on, you know, the patriarchy and rape culture and stuff in America, she has to take on the entire IRA and try to live to tell the story. So I'm really fascinated to read this one. So one of these books will also be included in the nonfiction November, but it's going to be my ongoing deep dive into Irish literature or Irish history. So that one is also the Irish Soldiers of Mexico. And so in a lot of my research and other book reading, I learned that, you know, with the American, the Spanish-American War, my cats, sorry. So a lot of Irish people switched sides and started fighting for Mexico. Not only was Mexico allowing for freedom from slavery, which is not what America was doing at the time, but also in my other stories or other videos, I was talking about how the Irish Catholics were coming here and they were being discriminated not just for their Irishness, but because they were Catholics in a deeply Protestant growing country. And so Mexico was highly Catholic, and so they got to fully be Catholic and fully be free and fully be Irish if they switched sides. So why would they not fight for Mexico? So I am fascinated to read this story. And then the other ones that are kind of going to be grouped together that I'm excited to do a story about, and this will be dependent on the fact that I have the Buffalo Hunter book reserved at the library, so I have to wait for that to come in. And so obviously it's going to be a horror retelling about the struggles with how when the white people moved out west and were killing all the buffalo to try to kill all the Indians or the Native Americans. They obviously wanted to colonize to basically control and establish and make their own white settlements out there. And all those pioneers and stuff needed to have it cleared before they could come out here and settle. So you had all these, a lot of times governmental provided or paid people who would then either round up the Native Americans and put them in reservations, or just kill off the buffalo to try to starve out the Native Americans who were fighting, so that they would either starve off and die, or agree to then go into the reservations. So that will be a retelling of that in a horror story type of way, where it sounds like they're going to hunt the men that are hunting the buffalo. I don't know much more about that. I just know that I'm fascinated to read it. And I wanted to read these to kind of round out the story. So I was talking about the pioneers and stuff, and a lot of times you assume that they're white pioneers, especially when you have Little House on the Prairie or Willa Cather's My Antonio, or what was her other famous one? I just can't think offhand. Anyway, pioneers. And so these are different. This one is Prairie Lotus, and this is about half Chinese, half white girl who leaves their establishment and then goes out to the Dakota Territory and tries to make a home for herself there in 1880. So she has to deal with being Asian in a white world. And I think that will be a bigger way to understand that time period as well. And then this is for nonfiction, because both of those two will be fiction. This is The Bone and the Sinew of the Land. This is America's Forgotten Black Pioneers and the Struggle for Equality. So this is giving the Black experience to the pioneers and stuff that settled out west. So I'm excited to have that all well-rounded understanding of that era. And I like the idea of grouping things together and getting a more nuanced approach to things. So another one that I have to wait until I have it available, that's on order as well, is I finally want to read Massacre and Margarita. And from my understanding, it has a character who is death. So that being said, I want to also pair that with reading Appointment in Samara, which is about death, and also The Book Thief, which is along those same lines. I don't know. I like the idea of themes. I kind of used to do it on my own when I wasn't trying to read for different book months and tags and challenges and stuff. So unless, big things come up that I can maybe fit these books in, or I can add a shorter book that's on my TBR to fit and participate in some of these books, these are my planned reading for throughout the rest of the year. I just wanted to share that with you. And I would be very interested on your views of my groupings, on your any ideas that if you have books that fit along those lines as well, and also books that you're most looking forward to reading for the rest of the year, or if you could pick your own tag or your own challenge, what group of books would you want to read for the next month? Maybe I'll just do that instead and pick a tag and just go with it. I don't know. I'm new to this, so that's all new to me. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. And once again, go Lynx, go Nafisa. Thank you. Have a great day and happy reading.